Oh boy, did the Limit Over collection, the heroes, just tell us some other things on the inside of the set. So make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that Egyptian God button so you guys don't miss out more content. So last night we got a list of reprint cards that are going to be coming out in the new Limit Over collection, the Heroes. And there was a lot of notorious Egyptian God reprints. You know, one of the key highlights being the Egyptian God little guardian slime that we had running around in the past. We had the monster, the card that allows you to tribute 3 of your opponent's cards. It's a lot of very well-timed support here that Konami is kind of throwing at us here, trying to, I guess, get us a little bit excited for what's to come. But we do know that the Egyptian gods have been a little bit lacking in support. I mean, we did get one version of support, which was from the World Premiere Pack, and for us, it was in the Odeon Maze set, which, I mean, Odeon did have the encounter with the Divine or whatever it was. So that was your last Egyptian god support. But at this point in time, I would not be surprised to see Konami revving up and trying to do something here with the Limit Over collection, the Heroes, because the Egyptian gods are definitely lacking a little bit of, and it's honestly, I want the Egyptian god deck to be more consistent. I want Herakti to really get the love that it deserves. But the fact that, you know, it's like every 2 years, maybe every 3 years, you know, we have to hope for a single crumb of Egyptian god support to make this deck, you know, viably good. And it's like, I understand that, like, they're like the hive mind of craziness that's in the game. It's like, we can never really make these cards too good, but maybe someday. All right, let's talk about Adventure. Now, I don't think we're going to see Adventure support anytime soon within the Heroes set itself. Unironically, though, it's kind of funny that we see adventures, because, I mean, it's like your whole job is like, you're going on an adventure. You're the hero of the story. And it's like, yes, we are. So it kind of is, it makes sense to slot it in. You guys get what I'm saying here. But my whole caveat and takeaway from this is like, the Adventure package has been one of the decks that really feels like it didn't get its story flushed out enough. It didn't really get an opportunity to do things. It's like, yeah, you got the opportunity to like see the hero, which is like, you know, the isekai story for sure. But it's like the way that Konami made those cards too generic, I think they might have pulled any future support that we might have got. But now that, you know, we're really making the push to try to say, hey, you know, we've brought back all this adventure stuff off of the Forbidden and Limited list, you know, now we want you to suddenly start to explore this package and actually try out some of the different variables that we've actually got within the space. And I will say I agree with that. I think Adventure could be a possibility in the next couple of sets going forward here, that we could just see something new and revolutionary come out for the deck. And realistically, it needs it, all right? There needs to be more tales spun out for the Adventure deck. Because, like, what was our Adventure about? You know, what were we doing? You know, what was the evil that we were basically trying to go out into the world and explore? Because it feels a little bit disheartening knowing that lore never got an appropriate ending. And then we've got Dark Magician. So seeing Dark Cavalry get a reprint here, and then seeing that the next set is supposed to be, what was it, Order of Chaos or something like that. It's a chaos-inspired theme. You can best bet that we are sniffing around. You guys sniff that, right? You guys smell that? That's the smell of the possibility of Dark Magician support revving on in here. Now, Do we need to see, you know, a new Black Luster Soldier? Do we need to see... I mean, actually, to be fair, we don't really have a Gaia Black Luster Soldier crossover. Actually, that'd be really freaking cool to think about, actually. Because, I mean, like, Dark Magician's already rode in on Gaia. You know, Black Luster Soldier himself has already merged with Blue Eyes, but... the thing that we've never seen has been like Black Luster Soldier taking up the helm of Gaia. So in terms of possibility here, seeing the Dark Magician support getting dumped in here for the reprints, it would make some sort of sense to have a little bit of an overlay, at least on this front, just to kind of anticipate it. Because, I mean, by the time the Heroes drops, we should be, I mean, this is in February, yeah, it should be February. We should be getting that theme, or at least whatever that set is going to be bringing to the table, given to us. So yeah, I guess it would make sense as to why the Dark Magician stuff is being slotted into the Limit Over collection. Obviously, it is the Heroes. I mean, like, Dark Magician and Jaden support was going to be inevitably in here, but we're just lining up the puzzle pieces now for kind of what's coming along the way, that it just initially feels like, you know, we're going to see something a little bit interesting for that one. So you get a pass on this one, Konami. Now let's talk about Metamorphosis. So Metamorphosis coming back still feels like one of the most interesting design inspirations that we've had in the game in years. Now, Metamorphosis, we still look at this card and we go, you know, it's a one of, but I have to thrust into it in order to get it. But, I mean, Metamorphosis looks very scary in Mitsurugi, because it's just like you throw it down on the table, you metamorphosis your Mitsurugi monster, and suddenly the world is your oyster, you know. Suddenly, you know, it's looking a lot crazier in terms of the designs and how you can really fill out the ideas for this. And I do think maybe we will see, you know, some future cards that are going to work with Metamorphosis. I have a feeling Konami bringing this back just goes, hey, you know, we can now start printing cards that work with Metamorphosis. We can actually do quite the opposite of what we said we were going to do. You know, Metamorphosis for years was one of those cards that definitely seemed a little bit more dangerous than it actually is. But I mean, when you power creep a card 21 years forward here, especially something that generic, I mean, I get it. And that's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Paradox, right? It's like, we want cards to be broken. We want surprises. But I do think that there was a Metamorphosis target for, what was it, Mudball Man or something like that existed within the anime that Jaden used. Obviously, you know, there's Neo Bubble Man as well. Yeah, the whole Metamorphosis trait was something that Hero had used. So it is very much an inspired bring back for, you know, GX's, you know, 20th anniversary, 25th anniversary. Think about that, guys, for a second. That GX actually helped bring back Metamorphosis. It might be inspiring some cool new things, actually. And then there's the State of Totally Awesome. So Totally Awesome coming back is one of those cards that you kind of take a look at for a second and go, wow. You know, like, OCG told us we never were going to see this card coming back ever again, because it was just too broken. But the amount of shark decks that have suddenly woken up in the OCG is kind of crazy, actually. They love sharks over there. I've seen at least 10 different deck list possibilities over the weekend here that players are just picking up and going, hey, you know, we can play this. This is actually a very real possibility all of a sudden. And honestly, I'm going to give it to you guys. I think you guys actually, Konami is very notorious. They'll bring back something and then they'll be like, hey, you know, why don't we just make an archetype that can actually work with this? You know, it basically churns in that new support. And it's like, now you guys are kind of, you see Totally Awesome come back. It's like, well, now you got to go buy the Totally Awesome if you want to play the new archetype. Just, you can inspire new themes based on that. And it definitely does make some sort of sense as to what's going to be coming here in the future. But funny enough, I do think that there is something in the works for Totally Awesome. It would be a really big missed opportunity if Konami didn't take advantage of that. And I got to give it to them, man. I would very much love to see that. So I think the Limit Over collection, the Heroes, is telling us a lot of cool things are coming. We just got to be ready for what is to come. So please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.